Hello, it's Timothy with Scrappy Boy Stamps, and today I want to give you some inspiration for using the Bookmark and Toppers dies. So this die set comes with two different size bookmark bases or die cuts, and then it also comes with four different toppers that you can use for your bookmarks. So they didn't come with names, but for the sake of the video, we're going to call this one Hearts because it'll cut out some hearts there. We'll call this one the Scallop. I guess that's a little scallop there. We'll do Arch for this one. We'll call this one the Flip Scallop. Okay, so let's bring in some of the bookmarks that I worked on, or prepped, I guess. So this image is from the Cute Girls Book Lovers stamp set. So that's a pretty cool stamp set and has some fun sentiments that you can use for these or any of the stamps. So for every bookmark, I went ahead and cut out a piece of heavyweight cardstock because I definitely want the bookmarks to be sturdy. And for the paper, I went with the I Love Reading paper sheets. And so I pulled the color inspiration from the paper as well. So the larger bookmark is approximately 6 3/4 of an inch. And so I used a 6-inch piece of paper. And so it doesn't cover all the way, but that doesn't matter because we're going to use this topper and that will cover like that. So the only one that didn't fit with using like the 6x6 paper is the scallop one. So if you can see, there's just like a little bit of space there. If that doesn't bother you, then you could definitely use this one. But I just wanted to show you that if you do use 6-inch tall piece of paper, then it'll have a little gap at the top. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and glue this down. I really enjoy making bookmarks. I feel like you can get them done so quick. All right, so we're just going to line that up. And glue this topper piece down. And everything lines up perfectly. I like to use liquid glue just so I can kind of wiggle things around and get them into place. Let's go ahead and do our seam binding ribbon. And whenever I'm using a ribbon or twine or anything like that, I always like to go through the front, up through the back, so I get that piece in the front. I like how that looks instead of that look, preference, but I think it looks really neat when that little piece is in the front. And we can go ahead and attach our little book lover. I wouldn't say it's hard for me to have projects flat, but I definitely love popping up my projects with dimension. But since this is going inside of a book, you want it to be as flat as possible so it doesn't damage your pages at all. Okay, so that is our first bookmark. See how quickly that came together. And I definitely love using when there's a busy piece of paper, pattern paper, I love adding a solid just to kind of balance it out a little bit. So that is our first bookmark. Let's grab our second one, which is also from the Cute Girls stamp set. So this was, like I said, the larger bookmark, which is approximately 6 3/4 by 2.5. The smaller one is approximately 6.5 by 2 1/4. So we are going to use that scallop die that I talked about in the first bookmark. I went ahead and used the same I Love Reading paper, but since this one is shorter, you are able to use whatever tag you want to. So it's a little bit wider because I feel like this one was made for the larger bookmark, but I like how it hangs over a little bit. So we're going to do that one. Let's go ahead and glue this down. Like I said, I used some heavyweight cardstock to cut all the bases for these cards. Not cards, bookmarks. You can tell what I make all the time. Okay, so we're going to glue that down, and we're going to glue this topper. I love this black and white piece too. Pattern paper is my fave, especially when it's double-sided and you have more options to choose from. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and line that up. And because it does hang off like that, I cut a second piece of the same pattern, and we're going to glue that to the back. Totally a preference thing, but I think it looks nice when it's just kind of closed off on both sides. And I feel like your book lover will appreciate it. Okay, so there's that. We'll go ahead and do our seam binding ribbon. And I like this ribbon a lot just because I feel like it does what you need it to do and will stay in place without wanting to come undone. Okay, so there's our ribbon. Let's go ahead and glue this little book lover down. And I also pulled color inspiration from the paper when I colored her. I just think it makes it easier, it ties everything in together. Okay. So there we are with the shorter bookmark and the scallop topper. All right, let's go in and we'll do a bookmark without any images. Okay. So this paper is from the 3-hour tour. Let's see, these are 4x9 slimline paper sheets. So if you do have our slimline paper sheets, you don't have to worry about them not covering, because they'll go all the way to the top of your bookmark. So let's go ahead and glue this one down. This is a fun yellow piece too. All right. There we go. So I feel like this can be kind of masculine too. Well, I said that before I put this piece on there, but I still feel like this could be a masculine bookmark. So let's go ahead and fold this in half. It does have a little fold line in the middle. All right, so let's get some glue on here. It's probably easier to line it up with one side first. And then go ahead and close down. Then we'll go in with some seam binding ribbon. So this is the shorter of the two bookmarks as well. And there is bookmark number 3. So you don't even have to do any coloring if you don't want to. All right, so this is our next one. So I used paper from not the Pirates. Oh, this one's actually from 3 Hour Tour as well. So it has some really fun patterns there. I did use the Pirates for my other 2 projects. All right, so like I said, this is the larger of the 2. Go ahead and get some glue. So if you did want to use like whatever pattern is on the back, you could cut out 2 of them and glue those to each other to kind of make it more sturdy instead of using the heavyweight cardstock backing. Or you can just sandwich the cardstock between the 2 pattern pieces. All right, so we're gonna use this arch piece, downward arch, I guess. So we're gonna actually use 2 of the toppers on this one. Let's go ahead and line that up at the top. And then we're gonna fold this piece in half. So there's actually 2 folds here, so you can see that it's not directly in the center, which allows you to stack multiple pieces of paper in there and still have a nice fold at the top. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Okay, we'll line it up with the front. And then once that's in place, you can fold it over. That's what it looks like in the back, the front. So for this one, I grabbed some baker's twine in blue, red, and gray to match the paper. And all of my ribbon and baker's twine, I just cut 9-inch pieces. I feel like that's long enough for these bookmarks. Of course, you can use more or less depending on your preference. Okay, so there is another bookmark. Okay. So this is also with the larger of the two bookmarks. This is from the Pirates 4x9 slimline paper sheets. Go ahead and glue this down. And then for the topper, I'm going to use the heart topper, but because these have little heart poke outs, I'm going to add some red paper behind, because I feel like they kind of get lost with the stripes there. So I'm just going to flip it over. Cut a few little pieces just to go behind. And so since they're so small, we're just going to glue around them and then add the paper. Just making sure it doesn't peek out on the edges. So if you have a solid piece of paper that you're using, then you don't have to worry about putting a second piece of paper behind, but I just thought that kind of added to the dark glitter tag. So let's go ahead and glue this down. You're lining that up. This is just a piece of glitter cardstock. I'm going to use some red to tie in with our hearts. Okay, there's that. And then I have a couple of die cuts. So these are the Goth Girl color die cuts. So it comes with 45 pre-colored die cut pieces. So this is perfect for quick card making or bookmarks or quick projects that you can throw together without coloring yourself. See, I think I like that way. So let's go ahead and glue these little cuties down. And I'm gonna kind of have them at an angle. Just kind of using the stitching as a guide for how far I want them over. But there is our other bookmark. And my last project I just finished a little while ago. Just to show you that you don't have to use these only for bookmarks. So this is a slimline card. I use the wonky stitched slimline dies for the background piece, and then I use the larger bookmark and the scallop, or not the scallop, the arch topper, and stamped my sentiment directly down to the paper, used one of the pre-colored die cuts from the Goth Girl pack and made a birthday card. All right, so that is it for me. I hope you learned something, maybe inspired you to work with these if you have them, or purchase them if you don't have them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.